It's Madden NFL 22, and the wait is over for this rivalry game. It's the Ravens and the reigning Super Bowl champs on Thursday night primetime.
Right at the convergence of the Three Rivers on Art Rooney Drive, we welcome you to Heinz Field in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. This was the scene just a few moments ago as the Pittsburgh faithful were fired up by the hometown Steelers taking the field. They're all set as they'll match up with the Baltimore Ravens. The wait is finally over. Brandon Gaud and Charles Davis here in the start of a new NFL season, and we kick it off with a bang on Thursday night.
What's interesting about these Thursday night games is oftentimes we hear people say, is it really fair for players to play on Thursday night? But what did we hear from both of these teams going into this one? How excited they were to have the spotlight on their teams, their franchises, the rest of the league watching them go at it.
Football is back, America, and we're underway on EA Sports. This one fielded at the 5. And he takes this near the 25. Just a little pass there. Call it the 26. So out come the Steelers now for their first drive. As we take a peek at the Oklahoma State product, their quarterback, Mason Rudolph.
And when Mason Rudolph is on the field, sometimes the scouting reports have to be revised a little bit because often quarterbacks like to throw short to get a rhythm. For Mason Rudolph, he loves the deep fade, and he loves the deep post pattern. Anything over the top, those are his favorite shots downfield, and that's what gets him comfortable.
Oh, he's going to air it out right away. He's got a man complete. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A big play there. 74 yards. And the Steelers are on the board here first in the season opener. For as big and strong as some of these guys are, especially when you see them in full pads, it is sometimes hard to appreciate how truly fast they can move. That was incredible.
Well, in this league where coordinators worry so much about drawing up the right routes, blocking assignments, misdirections and stuff, they have these precise arrows and movements. Sometimes the best plays just come from the schoolyard where you look at your fastest guy and say, go long, go get it, big man.
Extra point splits the uprights, and it's now a 7-0 game. Well, the offense wasn't out there for a long time, but they were out there for a good time. One play, and they're able to hit pay dirt. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he will be brought out here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. Here comes the Ravens on offense, and the man in charge from Louisville, the former MVP, Lamar Jackson.
And the tendency for most of these guys is to want to match things right away because they have a lot of confidence in their talent, too. They just saw a big strike against their team, and you know they're thinking to themselves, I can get this back right now on one play. Well, if it's there, you take it, but otherwise, just go ahead and calm your team down. Run the offense, get things going, and see how things settle in.
And they'll begin by running the option. And he'll take this up only to about his 18-yard line. Only a yard on the keeper, and it'll be second down.
No doubt about it. A really nice job there by the defense, not allowing him to get to the perimeter. But that means your defensive ends, your outside linebackers, the guys that you pay big money to sack the quarterback, they also have to have interest in the running.
Blitz coming, and down he goes. T.J. Watt in there for sack number 85 of his great career, moving him past Hall of Famer Howie Long on the all-time list. The defense is always talking about not letting Lamar Jackson get comfortable. A good job there on his opening drive of making him uncomfortable.
And you're talking about doing it so early in the game because all week long, there's been anxiety on the defensive side of the ball. How do we keep this guy hemmed in? How do we tackle him? To get it done that early, that's got to feel great for them.
After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them running the ball here just to try and get some space.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And this is going to be incomplete. So the defense able to get off the field here on 3rd down.
And it's one of the goals of the game. They've got to be effective on passing downs. It's one of the few things defenses chart. How did we do on 3rd down? That's a nice start for them in this one.
The punt team on now is from their end zone. They get it away. And taken at the 46. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Michael Pittman, 46 yards. And the Steelers are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead.
They really capitalized on that one, didn't they?
Yeah.
Short kick, and they brought it all the way back.
Yeah, you start thinking, wow, maybe.
Yeah, no sense stopping when they're not going to stop you.
And he will get into the end zone. So the Steelers Crowder doing it himself there on the 2-point try.
The ball's staying in the hands of the best players, but most of the time you pitch it to a wide receiver. In this case, the quarterback did it himself.
So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Fielded right around the 8. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18.
Let's go!
Baltimore set to take over here for their 2nd possession of the game. And Charles, nothing like squaring off with a division opponent, a division rival in week 1. Do you like that they are matching up this early, or would you prefer a game like this be a few weeks down the road?
I actually like the early matchup for a few reasons, Brandon. First of all, it allows you to see that in the entire offseason and know, hey, right out of the gate, we're playing a division game. Second part is it spreads them out a little bit. If you just have them all bunched up at the end of the year, that's not as much fun watching teams try to survive that gauntlet when you do have injuries down the stretch. And last but not least, let's face it, we're TV people. What a great game to sell right out of the gate.
Jackson on the give to Dobbins. And he'll get this one up to the 26. It's a gain of 3, and it sets him up with 2nd and just 2 yards to go. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. Dobbins hit and he fumbles. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And his guys are going to get the football at the 28-yard line. And it sort of goes without saying that's the risk of running the option play. You can put the ball on the ground. They did there and turned it over.
So true, because you've got so many different decisions that have to be made. Are you handing the ball off inside, or are you just keeping it yourself, or you pitch it to your trail guy? And sometimes you get caught in between, and you're a little indecisive on the play, and it turns into the ball on the ground. Fortunately enough, they weren't able to return it for a touchdown.
Rudolph following the fumble recovery. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete.
I think we can all understand what they're thinking right now. They take over the ball in field goal range after the turnover, so they've got that in their hip pocket. But they've got to go for the end zone and turn this into bigger points. Their thinking is a touchdown is really what they should get from starting here. Getting 3 points at the end of this drive, that would feel disappointing.
And this may be a carbon copy as he'll again be stopped right at the line of scrimmage. Officially nothing on that one, no gain, so they're left with still 10 to go on 3rd down. He's going to take a shot for the end zone. And that will be incomplete. Oh, he left that one in a bad spot, but fortunately it's just an incompletion and not picked to bring up 4th down. The offense staying out there. They look prepared to go here on 4th and 10. Here we go on 4th. Rudolph. It's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect. The Steelers try it, but they come up empty on. 4th down, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. And a fumble last time. Ball security. Talk about it all the time in the National Football League. They've got to be better at it on this drive.
Don't you think that when every team gets together for the first time, I don't care if it's OTAs, mini camps, first day of camp in the regular season, ball security comes up about, what, the second sentence of the coach's address?
And those are so many drills focus on that. All
the time, and they do drills to make it even tougher to simulate game situations. Doesn't always work out, though.
On 1st and 10, it's Dobbins. Strong run, but he's corralled just beyond the 40. The tackle made by the linebacker, Joe Schobert. 2nd and 9. Now it's Jackson. And his throw is incomplete.
And there's a good opportunity to just run a ride there, a drop pass. I guess that's why they call them running backs and not catching backs.
After an incomplete pass on 2nd down, that'll leave him trying to convert on 3rd and 9. From the gun, Jackson. And that is incomplete.
They went with the dive look that time on defense, just flooded the field with defensive backs, blanketed everyone, took away all the passing angles, thus the incompletion.
On is the punter, Cook, who sends it away. It's taken to the 26. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. All told, it's a punt return of 74 yards. And the Steelers are looking good here in the season opener as they're able to extend their lead.
That's the 2nd touchdown return of the game. And yes, we're only in the 1st quarter.
How about that for a start? So he's on pace for 8. You think he gets there?
I don't see how. But right now, he's got to like what he's getting done.
Yeah, he likes it. His team loving it. Extra point safely through. And the lead opens up now to 22 points. That's no secret. That's why they have him return punts. He has the capability to take them back, and he did so there. So after surrendering the punt return for a score, let's see what they can do in turn on this kickoff. Takes it at the 7. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. An option handoff here to Dobbins. And he sneaks his way forward only for a couple here. 2nd down. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's a give to Dobbins. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. This will be a loss of 3 and now a much tougher 3rd down looming.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the 1st half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
On 3rd down, Jackson. He's going to go for a big play downfield. Rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. He's picked off just shy of midfield. And they take possession 2 yards away from midfield at the 48-yard line.
Well, that's a drive killer right there. Not a really confident throw either. This one was kind of up for grabs, and it's going to come down the hands of the wrong team.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held out. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the first down or to have the defense have to hold up.
But he trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive, because I've got the Wild Bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
We'll see what his offense can do. To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Keenum, he's going to take another shot here. This is caught inside the 15. And into the end zone. Touchdown, Pittsburgh. A great effort there. 48 yards. And the Steelers, they broaden their lead. So a good start to the campaign so far for them here in Week 1.
Yeah, all the things that you dreamed about in April and May and that you worked on in July and August, getting ready for this game, it's all coming together so far.
Now they'll line up to kick the extra point. And that'll push the lead up to 29 now. The long touchdown pass. 6 on a very, very tidy two-play drive that time. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Takes it at the 7. And no alley to be found. The coverage was solid, and he's dropped at the 18. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Jackson. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. So this defense clicking early in the year. Week 1, the return for a touchdown.
The organization made a concerted effort in the offseason to improve this defense. I have to say they like the early returns.
No going for 2. They'll kick the point after. And the route is on here in this first half. So not only the cough up, but then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown. So here's the kickoff now as they'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Takes it at the 7. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And they weren't on the sidelines for long, but I'll tell you what, I'm glad you and I weren't down there. We could hear them. The coaches from all the way up here, they were adamant, you've got to hold on to the football or else we have no hope.
Yeah, it's easy for me to laugh sitting up here, but you're exactly right. If we were down there, that message would have been received a whole different way. Because turnovers, they've been a big problem for them. Got to take care of the football. Got to hold on to it.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Here's Jackson to throw. Over the middle, and it's incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
From the gun on 3rd down, Jackson in trouble here, and down he goes. Back at the 8-yard line. They dial up the corner blitz that time, and it delivers to the tune of a 9-yard loss. And that is the 3rd sack this offensive line has allowed this first quarter.
Yeah, that puts him on pace. Let me do the rudimentary math here. To be sacked 12 times in a game, I know he's not going to go for that. I wonder if it's going to reshape what they decide to do on offense in terms of play calling.
Well, I can tell you what, when he popped up, shaking his head, frustrated right now behind center. So from their own end zone here, this kicks away. Taking on the midfield logo. And that'll be a return of 12 following a very nice punt. And the Steeler offense, they're set up nicely as they take over. And they're going to start in great field position, and they've been starting in great field position in this one thanks to some great punt returns we see here.
And this is why you hear special teams coaches talk about pressing the kicking game, the area of hidden yardage. Although they actually count it, they know that if they bring the ball back big time each time, that helps out their offensive unit. And right now, they've set their group up in enemy field position.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. They'll run on 1st down. McDonald.
Something to watch here in week 1 of the season, tackling. Because you and I both know that in the preseason, a lot of these guys don't play a whole lot. Plus, the intensity and the speed really ratchets up on opening week.
And he went nowhere. Well, he went backwards, back to the 33. That's one they certainly wish they had back. A loss of 8.
Well, that's the big drawback to this play. Even if somehow the quarterback pitches it, he's not immune to the big hit. In this case, he kept it and absorbed it anyway.
Throwing on 2nd and long. Rush coming, and he's taken down. Patrick Queen coming in hard that time on the blitz, and he gets him down. It's a loss of 4. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down. Went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off near the 32. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line. Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 38. Flag comes in. This might be a free play. Now Brown, he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he'll get this one out to the 50 to the midfield stripe. So now our referee looking at the sideline saying, are you sure? But yes, this defense has accepted the penalty. So that means they will not take possession on the fumble recovery. I'm not sure why in the world you do that, but that is apparently the decision. 5 yards remain on 2nd down. Jackson from the shotgun. And this one is incomplete.
So many times we see teams go on the road and want to lean on their running game, but this crew just announced they're going to try and air it out and make hay downfield.
That's for Bateman, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Caleb Farley. And the Steelers are going to have the short field here as they'll take over right at the 50. And not the first quarter that he was hoping for. Now 2 interceptions thrown.
Well, the good ones, they find a way to compartmentalize, right? Put these behind them, have that short memory, but understand why they threw the 2 interceptions. They go on and usually play a pretty decent game. Other quarterbacks, they have a hard time getting past it and often put the ball up for grabs the rest of the ball game.
Meanwhile, they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete.
When you look at the scoreboard, you'd think they'd be pretty comfortable right now with this lead, but these guys are absolutely not going to let up. They want to increase their lead, and they want to do it with a big play. Unable to connect in that attempt.
And this is caught inside the 5. And in for the Steelers touchdown. A great play there with his 2nd touchdown in this opening quarter. And the Steelers have taken a 6-touchdown lead. The first quarter, and this lead is already getting into dangerous territory. They better be careful on the other sideline.
Yeah, it feels a little bit more like a basketball game where one team is pressing and that team can't get the ball over half court. I mean, they're stealing it and scoring it, layups, the whole deal. That's what it feels like right now. They are all over them.
The point after is good, and the lead will swell by 1 more. Pretty clean and simple there. Just 2 plays. The long pass resulting in the touchdown on play number 2. The kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. Fielded right around the 8. And he had no room to run as he's tackled down inside the 20. And now Baltimore gets set to take the field. They find themselves in a good-sized hole here, and a good-sized hole early on in this game as they come up on 1st down. Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. Got him in. It's Brown. And able to get this across the 20 before going out of bounds. 3 yards the gain there, second down. Off the play fake to Dobbins, here's Jackson. Throwing the out route, incomplete. That's Brown. And he is out of bounds right around the 34. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. He's going to air one out. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So plenty of shouts from this crowd as they watch the replay. They want a challenge, and they're going to get one. And we'll get a moment here as they look this one over.
Yeah, remember now, the call on the field is what they'll stick with unless they have clear video evidence to the contrary. And I give these officials a lot of credit. Such a tough and demanding job. You and I both know that. Yeah, they make the right call way more often than they get it wrong.
So not successful there on the challenge, and he'll have to be careful from here. And he loses the football a second time. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will take over at the 26-yard line.
Well, my friend, this has certainly been a comedy of errors here in the first quarter. Neither side able to really hang on to the ball.
Yeah, now I'm just curious to see which team can adjust, because both have made their mistakes, as you said.
Yeah, and whoever can do that can seize firm control of this game, something they haven't done with the ball so far.
Pittsburgh's offense now heading back out onto the field. And for them, a touchdown their last go-around. Obviously, they'll be hoping to do that again.
And when you start plotting for this drive, when you start thinking to yourself, okay, what are we going to do? You don't go away from what you did before because that worked, but you have to be prepared for wrinkles and counters because you know they'll make some adjustments.
And this one incomplete. Threw it down at the feet of his receiver. So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. Throwing is Keenum. And it's intercepted. Picked off at the 21. And he's able to get it back to the 33-yard line.
Well, to me, it's pretty simple, and it's fairly obvious, isn't it? He's got to start making better decisions with the ball.
That's now 2 interceptions in the first quarter. After interception number 1, there was a long talk on the sideline. And now he's made another mistake.
Yeah, he's just been kind of laying these passes out there. He's kind of been floating them a little bit. He's got to be more decisive in his reads and definitely more decisive in throwing the ball. Rifle it in there every now and then.
Now Dobbins again on 2nd down. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. Throwing is Jackson. He's going deep for Brown. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Sam Cook now, as he's on to punt for the 4th time tonight. And take it right on the 30. They'll score that a 36-yard punt. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. Pittsburgh offense making their way back out. And 2 interceptions already here in this first half. That's got to affect him a little bit, right? He's got to be thinking about it.
He's got to be thinking about it, but most of the good ones, they find a way to put it aside. They're not happy about it by any stretch of the imagination. They'll find a way to put it aside and continue to play their game.
Can he put it aside? Let's find out. 49 yards for him on the ground in his first quarter. He has been tremendous to start the new year. And that one heck of a run right there. Once he got loose, you could tell that he was going to run a long way. That was pretty impressive.
And first and foremost, this is all about vision. He can see the play developing right in front of him. And once he's past the line of scrimmage and got a full head of steam behind him, he's just going to keep right on going.
And they work this near the 5. He'll be stopped at the 6.
Well, this is a defense that's definitely on their heels now because they gave up the running play for good yardage 1 play ago. Now the pass here sets this offense up 1st and goal. They're going to have to dig in strong now because they've been in retreat so far in this drive. This offense on the march.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Cole McDonald, a 6-yard touchdown run. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. and certainly some credit there for that touchdown goes to the offensive line.
They never get the credit they deserve in the stat sheet, but they are the reason that they got the points. Excellent job up front, clearing the way for the score.
The extra point up and good, and that will extend this big lead. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it's capped off by a touchdown run of 6 yards. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And some good special teams coverage as they bring him down just outside of the 15. The Ravens offense now, they get set and head back onto the field. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline, puts on sweatpants or a wrap over his leg to keep it warm. He might need a massage from the trainer right now from all the work he's getting.
Jackson on first down. And he's going to go down. Back at his own 5-yard line, it's a sack. J.J. Watt able to drop him that time for his second sack of the evening.
He continues, Charles, to be under constant pressure. These sacks, they're starting to pile up.
And if they want to have a realistic chance in this one, they've got to change their blocking assignments. They've got to do a better job to keep him upright. If he's going to be on the deck constantly, they've got no chance to win this game.
And shedding through the tackle. And he's brought down, but not before a really nice stiff arm to create a little space. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Raven football here as we begin quarter number 2. We are in for a good one as we're through 1 on EA Sports. Oh, for the 3rd time, Jackson going to be intercepted. Picked off here the 32. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown. So this defense doubling its pleasure there. Remember, they had the fumble return for a score earlier in the game, and now this time an interception return for another score. The call is to go for 1 and kick the extra point. And the route is on here in this first half. A heck of a play there defensively, getting the interception, navigating his way into the end zone for the touchdown. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. A short kick taken at the 18. And he's up past the 20 to the 22-yard line. This Ravens offense heads back out there, led by Lamar Jackson. He's struggled. His team has struggled. You talked to me a lot about looking to your leaders. Maybe it's time for him to put his mark on this game.
Agreed. And how that has to happen is somehow he's got to flush out everything that's happened so far and almost start over and get back to that confident level and know that he can play the game, because so far this has been a real struggle.
Yeah, absolutely. He's got the interceptions, trying to turn it around. The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Jackson. And this is caught. It's Brown. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble.
Let's go, fumble.
And the defense not able to get it. From a defensive perspective, what's that moment like when you realize the ball is loose?
it is a moment where all concentration goes right to the football. This is something you've talked about in all your preparation for the game. And you probably talked about since training camp. Knock the ball free, take it away from the other team, and now you have that chance. There's a little bit of deflation when they end up recovering it.
They knocked it free, but couldn't take it away.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves. Even though they gave up more than they wanted to on that play, it actually illustrates how well they bottled them up throughout the game because that was his longest run of this contest.
This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Jackson. And it'll be intercepted. Able to get there and pick it. And now off to the races down the right side. And he brings this one back. It's a pick 6 for a Steeler touchdown.
That pick 6 extending this lead even further. Boy, it's been a while since I've seen a team struggle this badly in the first half.
I think all they want to do is get to the locker room, try and regroup, and come out to start the third quarter. But if things don't improve fast then, I think the backups get a lot of play in the second half.
No problem there on the extra point. And a rout is on here in this first half. So the defense creating some points, not only getting the interception, but then returning it to the end zone for the pick 6.
So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6. And now the kick is away.
Now this thing gets marked where it went out of bounds, so they're going to have really good starting field position near midfield.
And that drives coaches insane, doesn't it? When they see that happen, it just doesn't feel right, does it? Plus, you're giving up yardage.
Baltimore with good starting field position as they come up 1st and 10 at the 45. Play action. Now Jackson. And that is incomplete. Oh, the coverage a little too good there, and it's 2nd down.
I hate to say it, Charles, but the way that he has played in this first half, you just kind of hold your breath every time he drops back to pass.
Yeah, you might be holding your breath, but those guys on the defensive side of the ball, they've got big smiles on their faces. He's handing out picks.
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long.
But, Charles, this has been something to watch so far. This is where you really feel for a quarterback. He's been running for his life in this first half.
Brandon, that's 5 sacks already, so you know he's got to be saying, can we get some more guys in here to block, please? Because if we don't, we're going to need another quarterback.
Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. To throw is Jackson. That's complete. It's Rashad Bateman. And he gets us to the other side of midfield across the 45 before going out.
Now that's the kind of big play you'd like to see. This first half, it hasn't gone their way, and they could use a shot in the arm, something to perk them up a bit. And they get one here in the passing game.
They run the option here on 1st and 10. And he'll be brought down at about the 42. Give him 3 on the keeper there, and it is 2nd down.
And if you like defensive football, focus on the defensive end on this play. He does everything exactly right. Reads the play and makes sure he spills it for a small gain.
Now a deep ball there on 2nd down, but it'll wind up incomplete. The 1st down line at the 34 here on 3rd down. Jackson now. He's going to float this one deep right side. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Well, give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. And this is off the left upright. And it comes back. It's no good. And this score will stay right where it is. So distance not the issue there. He had plenty of leg to get it there. It's that darn upright getting in the way.
Always gets in the way of a good time, doesn't it? Because he hit it square, too. Sometimes you can bank one in if you get it on the end of the football. No such luck there for him.
And he gets this inside the 35-yard line.
Looks to me, partner, like he's learned a little bit, because earlier in the game, I think he was trying to force a lot of throws into his windows that just weren't open.
Yeah, the interceptions had plagued him, especially a second interception, really a bad throw, so maybe a better decision there.
Yeah, no doubt about it. I think he learned from earlier in the game, and he's applying it now.
And now a throw on 1st down there, but it's incomplete. Looked like he had a couple of different options as far as who to throw to on that play. And who am I to say this, but I'm not sure he made the right decision.
Well, the window of opportunity is always going to be small in the NFL. That's why those quarterbacks who make quick decisions and have quick releases have the most success in this league.
9 yards, not quite enough, and they'll be left now with 3rd and 1. Shotgun snap for Keenum. They'll roll him out right. He'll have a 1st down inside the 10. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Case Keenum with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Steelers continue to pull away here in this first half. Not the first time on this drive we saw him take matters into his own hands, and this time he finishes things off with a touchdown run.
You're not going to be happy with me, but I think he took matters into his own feet, didn't he?
Oh, Davis from the top rope. I like it. Extra point attempt to come here. And the route is on here in this first half. A drive there of just 4 plays. And a pretty good run there in the end to top it off. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. A short kick taken at the 18. And he brings us out past the 20 to the 24. Let's go. And now here come the Ravens. And the last time that they were on the field, a little demoralizing. Missed field goal. You know, always feel like you want to get it in the end zone, but then, oh, well, at least we're going to get 3. Didn't go through the goalpost, so.
It does test the mental processes of a team, though, doesn't it? Because when you miss a field goal, it's amazing how fast they want to turn on the guy kicking the... But you need to keep his confidence up, because how many times have we seen games where it comes down to the stretch, and guess what? You need that guy to make the big kick for your team to move on or to win a game. Make sure you keep him happy. Make sure you keep him comfortable.
I'm sure you always treated the kicker nicely, though, right?
You know, truthfully, I did.
Good.
I always did, because those guys, they won us a whole lot of games.
Now Jackson. And this throw a bit late as he couldn't reach back for it.
It certainly didn't appear that that's where he wanted to go with the ball initially, so he tried to get something out of it by dumping it off to his running back unsuccessfully.
They go play action now. Jackson. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. So 5 yards here, 5 on the play. And that's going to make it 3rd down and less than a yard. They'll try and run it. Here's Gordon. And he's going to have a Ravens 1st down as the tackle made at about the 38.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Dobbins going to take the handoff on the option.
And he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
Well, every now and then we have to let a cliche fly, partner. And in this case, what do they say in the NFL? Your best ability is often your availability. And this is an extremely durable kid coming out of Ohio State. Carried the ball every time they even thought about running it. Wore down defenses and able to break big runs late in games. J.K. Dobbins going to Baltimore, an absolute perfect fit.
The Ravens on third down. Just a 20% success rate at 2 of 10. This will be 3rd and 6. From the gun, Jackson. Jackson hit, and he lost the football. Offensively lucky they're able to keep the football, but now 4th down, so they'll have to boot it away.
I do think, though, they're going to look at this as a positive. 1, they recovered the fumble, so they retained possession. But 2, being able to punt it changes field position for them. Imagine if that turnover takes place there. Now your defense has to go onto the field and try and hold. Instead, they get a little breathing room.
Very good return that time. 18 yards. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10. Now Keenum. He's going to fire one deep, middle of the field.
And that nearly intercepted. Oh, the free safety roaming into position almost had it, but it's 2nd down.
To throw again on 2nd down. Keenum, he's going to go up top again. Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. And all the way down to the 22-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh.
Big plays are starting to become the trend here in this first half, and everything that they've tried has worked. And there's another example right there.
So the big play gets them all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Back to throw, Keenum. And for the 3rd time here this half, it's intercepted. Snags it for the pick.
And the Ravens are going to take over once again, and they'll have it at their own 8-yard line.
After the interception, here's Jackson. And he's going to go down. He backed up into the end zone, and this is going to wind up a safety. And the safety there, another mistake, and these mistakes just keep piling up.
How many more can they make? They put themselves in such a massive hole now. Going to be difficult to dig out from under.
Yeah, for sure they can't afford any more at this point. Bye-bye, Beasley.
Similar to golf, you never want to count a score before it actually happens, but you have to figure they thought they were going to get 6 on that play. Great effort to keep them out of the end zone, but a big-time return.
And that'll hurt the average a bit, as this time they're able to get him behind the line. That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on 1st down. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. Rolling to his right. And he's in. Touchdown, Steelers. Case Keenum. Already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one. Well, the defensive coverage was good, so good he just decided to make a play of his own, and it worked out.
Yeah, you often wonder if they think to themselves, was the coverage too good to allow him to run the football? I think you'd rather take your chances with him doing exactly that, and he beat him on that play all the way to the end zone.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it.
I know they're not asking me, but I'll give you my opinion anyway. I think it's time to erase that play from the call sheet. I guess they figure with the big lead they can experiment a little bit. But all in all, just go ahead and put that play on ice.
A short kick taken at the 18. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins.
He's had a good chunk of carries. Problem is for very little success. I don't want to put it all on his shoulders, but that's a big reason they're losing right now.
Have to be very careful that he doesn't start pointing fingers. Offensive line obviously trying. The defense has done a nice job against him today. When it's all said and done, it's all about the guy in the mirror. He has to get it done better going forward.
We'll see if he can look and do some soul searching now. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. A handoff running left is Dobbins. And oh my goodness, he loses it again. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score. This first half has been a nightmare for that offense. Defense just dominating them.
And when you're picking up the ball, picking up their mistakes, and taking it the other way and putting it in the end zone, that's a defense's dream. They're having that type of a game.
Everything that can go wrong has gone wrong for this offensive unit. Extra point attempt to follow here. And the route is on here in this first half. The scoop and score, always an exciting play in football, and we witnessed it there. Grabbing it off the ground and then rumbling it into the end zone for 6. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return. A short kick taken at the 18. And he'll be tackled just shy of the 25. The football back over to Baltimore and J.K. Dobbins. They haven't been able to get him on track. They haven't been able to get this offense on track. No points so far.
Maybe it's time to start doing a few different things. Throwing the ball a little bit. Maybe featuring other people touching it for a while. And then you've got a chance to come back to him when things have changed a little bit. They have to make an adjustment.
Well, still time for him here as we sit in the second quarter. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Option play, and they'll hand to Dobbins. And this has been a recurring theme tonight for sure. Nowhere to run. Back to the line of scrimmage, that's all. No gain there on 1st and 5, and it leaves them with a more standard 2nd down. Jackson going to take this himself. Fighting him off. And he'll take this up near the 35, maybe the 34. He'll get 5 out of the keeper, but now it's 3rd down. They'll try to run for it with Dobbins. And he will have the 1st down, but he winds up taking a pretty good shot that time.
I always appreciate runners who understand situations. That was just 3rd and inches. No reason to dance around in the backfield and try and break off a bigger play. Just go pick up the 1st down, and that's exactly what he did.
Meanwhile, Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews. And a 6-yard gain gets him right around the 43. Line of scrimmage, the 43 on 2nd and 4. They go play action with Jackson. And his throw's going to be incomplete.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
And now the 3rd down throw incomplete as well. The passing game not in sync here early, and now it's 4th down. Now on 4th down, on is the punt team sending this one away. Oh, he takes it in, doesn't let it bounce. He takes it at the 2. 1:53 remaining in this first half of play. We remind you that coming up at the half, we'll hand things off to Jonathan Coachman, standing by in Orlando. He'll have scores from earlier today, plus a look ahead as well, so you won't want to miss that. A lot going on here in Week 1. And they work this out past the 25. You said it earlier in the quarter when we saw a broken tackle then that we might see some missed tackles here early on in Week 1, and that's another one right there.
Yeah, not a surprise at all. It will even out as the season extends because everyone will get used to the play speed. But right now, here in the early season, the advantage definitely goes to the offense.
Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Flushed out right. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So a decent gain, but all for naught on the penalty.
It's too bad, isn't it? They were feeling pretty good about it. Only people celebrating, the guys who just gave up that play.
Now Keenum. He'll vice him, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Derek Wolfe popping in for the sack. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after first and second down went backwards. It's third and very long. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And the penalty helps, but not a whole lot. It's still third and long. To throw is Keenum. Trying to lay one up deep. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up fourth down. And how about this? Fourth and long, and they're going to go for it. They do snap it to Keenum. He's going to try and go deep again. And got his man complete. And he's going to get this down to the 35-yard line. A big play that time through the air. 33 yards. So we have reached halftime here in the Thursday night opener. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach.
All right, Brandon, good to get another season underway. We'll get back to you guys for the second half of the season opener. But first, let's take a look at what's still to come here in the opening weekend of the NFL season. In that 1 o'clock time frame, a lot to choose from. But let's highlight the game in Philadelphia, a big one for the Eagles, as they'll square off with the visiting Arizona Cardinals. Lots to look forward to in the late afternoon window as well, one being a late start in Foxborough, where it'll be the Patriots taking on the Dallas Cowboys. And lastly, we'll be tuned in on Sunday night for what should be a great one between the Green Bay Packers and the New Orleans Saints. Next, a look at the next-gen stats in that first half for the Ravens. And they did have some success running the football in those first two quarters. And that might be something they continue to work on as they try to get back in this game. And meanwhile, for the Steelers, you get a look at what they were able to do throwing the football. And whatever they've done, it's worked, as they have the lead through 2 quarters of play. It's a new season, so both of these coaching staffs likely making plenty of adjustments after that first half of football. So for the call of the second half here in Week 1, we go back to Brandon and Charles.
All right, Coach, thank you, and we welcome everyone back for quarter number 3. We'll see if Week 1 fatigue becomes any kind of a factor as we are back underway in the second half. Takes it at the 7. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. Any surprise in your mind he's out there to start the second half after 4 first-half interceptions?
I used to be surprised by a lot of things, partner, but in this case I'm not, because you know they want him to be their guy. And the only way to truly establish that is to give him a chance to work through some of the issues he had in the first half.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Second half starts with a run by RAVENS. But despite a little sizzle on the move, he's still tackled shy of the 20. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9. Jackson sets up the screen to Gordon. And some room to run now. And up to the 35 before they're able to knock him down.
Well, maybe this offense has learned something from watching their counterparts work. I'm wondering if their coaching staff said, let's do what they've been doing the entire game, because that's worked well. This offense, they have not looked particularly good all game long. But a nice throw there for a good gain and a first down.
Officially, it's a 1-yard loss. That's going to bring up 2nd and 11.
Well, we saw a lot of negative plays that resulted in plenty of lost yardage in the first half, and that trend is continuing here.
So after the loss of a yard, they'll look to push forward here on 2nd down and 11. A give, Dobbins trying the right side. It gets them a little over half of what they needed. Now they're looking at a 3rd and 5.
He's had a ton of success here so far, but you get the feeling that he might be on the verge of popping one.
Yeah, even on that one, there was a little bit of a hole, but it closed there quickly at the end. Now it's Jackson. Yeah, this pass broken up. Excellent coverage there on 3rd down, as that was not an easy one to hold on to. He's had trouble finding open receivers all game, CD, and that's because really there hasn't been many. This defense has been all over them.
Yeah, they're one of the better defenses in the league, and every time I talk to someone around the NFL, they all say the exact same thing. They're so fundamentally sound, it's hard to execute against them.
Time for the Steelers offense now to get set for their first possession of half number 2. On first down, it's McDonald, and he's going to lose yardage and be backed up to the 25. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result, negative yardage. And that one blown up quickly, as he's going to be stopped before he could even get started. He lost 4 there, and it's 3rd down.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Going up top. This is caught inside the 15. Touchdown. A big play there, with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. Well, he's been doing this for a lot of years, with the arm strength still there, and he showed it off on that one.
And that is absolutely demoralizing for a defense, because you've got the offense on the ropes. It's 3rd down. You're trying to get off the field, and then wham, you have a letdown in the secondary, and you give up a big one.
The extra point up and good. And the lead will swell by 1 more. The drive there only spanning 3 plays. And it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Fielded right around the 8. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21. The offense for the Ravens returns to the field. They are right now just ice cold. I mean, they have struggled big time in this game, and they're getting blown out. How do they adjust?
So tough, because we always talk about it being a team game, and you need all 11 working well together. But every now and then, partner, you need that one guy who can make a play against all odds that maybe can ignite things. And I think that's what they're looking for right now.
Yeah, you talk about going to your playmakers. They probably need to do it.
Find someone that you're used to touching the football that makes big plays and give them...
Oh, wide open, complete. And they finally get him, but not before he reaches the 33-yard line. It's a big play there for Baltimore. Now, look, you're not going to be able to get this all back at once, but that certainly helps.
So you're saying 3 yards in the cloud of dust, not the strategy?
I go aerial attack.
Yeah, I think that's what has to happen. And if you're going to run it, you need to break off big chunks. We just saw a big play right there. They need plenty of those.
No gain on the play there, second down. His carries tonight, they're getting up there, so maybe one of those every now and then is understandable.
I would agree with that. Understandable every now and then. Sometimes you come back and you fake it to him and go play action. But other times you say, okay, they got him on that one. We'll come back to him in another carry.
And he will lose yardage back to the 34-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call. Mark off the 5 and keep it moving.
Now Dobbins again on second down. Down right around the 25. Just a couple on the pickup there, and now it's third down. And they'll try and run the option to pick it up. That is not going to be any help as they dump him behind the line of scrimmage. He went backwards 5 yards there on third down to bring up fourth. And Tucker's kick right there. It's good. And they'll get back 3, but this remains a large deficit. I'm kind of surprised by that they kicked the field goal. I guess you get some points, but this deficit third quarter, I don't know.
Yeah, I don't either. Yeah, I'm with you on that one. When you're down that much, kicking a field goal, does it feel a little bit maybe waving the white flag and just want to get out of here? Yeah, I think you got to go ahead and try and get some bigger points on the board.
And Pittsburgh getting set to take the field. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you score points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there. Meanwhile,
they take a shot to start the drive, but this is going to wind up incomplete. 2nd and 10. From the gun, it's Keenum.
Yeah, this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a 4th pick of the ball game.
Well, when you've got a tight end who can run, you've got to give him a shot to unlock the defense. Want to see what they can get, taking the big shot downfield. That one winds up incomplete.
He's going to air one out. Got a man, it's caught inside the 10. And in for the Steelers touchdown. A great effort there. 72 yards. And this Steelers offense is running away with this one.
In today's NFL, we talk about quarterbacks and their speed and accuracy, but there's still something about a guy slinging one downfield.
And you'd think on third down they'd just be looking for something right beyond the sticks. And I think they caught the defense flat-footed as a result because they decided they were going to take a shot right there, and it ended up being a big play.
Point after, up and good. And that will extend this big lead. Scoring summary, 3-play drive. And it ends with the Steelers finding the end zone. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away.
Takes it at the 7th. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field. They have been struggling. I would imagine at halftime they went through some possible changes. Well, those changes aren't working, so now where do you go?
I think that now it's much more in their head. And what I mean by that is just what you said. You've gone over the changes. I bet they were pretty clinical at the half, not too emotional. They might need to go to the emotional side because you've got to find something, some spark somewhere. And so far, just being calm hasn't exactly worked.
They need any spark at this point.
Now Dobbins again on second down.
They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on third down. And that will be incomplete.
Well, the passing windows are just not there, and that's just another example of how great this defense has been all game long.
And that's exactly what a top 10 defense can do. They can really change the game tempo and frustrate you as you try to execute offensively.
Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. .39 yards on the punt, given just 1 yard on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over.
Pittsburgh set to take over again on offense.
They've really distanced themselves. They have put the pedal to the metal, I guess, so to speak.
So definitely have them in the rearview mirror, don't they? I mean, you're exactly right. Being able to string together these drives that end up in points, it's almost like a run in basketball to create that distance, and they're on a really big-time one right now.
It becomes contagious, doesn't it?
It absolutely does, because oftentimes it translates to your defense as well, because they're excited about getting the ball back for their offense that's playing so well.
Well, they are clicking right now. There goes a deep ball, end zone. And this is caught. And he just falls short down at the 1-yard line. A big play that time for Pittsburgh. After the big play, a chance to finish now on 1st and goal. Keenum now to throw. Got his man. It's caught for a Steelers touchdown. A great play there. There to make the grab. And the Steelers get another third-quarter touchdown to add on to that lead.
So this looking more and more like it is going to be a successful kickoff to their campaign as they add on here.
And partner, you know NFL coaches, they're on the sideline thinking about all the little things that need correcting. But for the most part, they've got to be ecstatic with the way this season has started out.
And now they'll empty the backfield here as they elect to go for 2. Now Keenum maybe with a free play. Flush to his right. And he is going to get in for the 2. Although there is a flag on the field, but it looked like a defender jumped. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away.
Takes it at the 7. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. The Ravens ready to take over.
They've got to dig down deep. I mean, they need something right now, really anything to cling on to. This offense has struggled.
Partner, join me in a walk to their locker room at the half, okay? Because I think what we would have seen is an offensive coordinator and his assistant coaches getting together with all their positions, then coming together as a group, going over adjustments, and then the head coach coming in and just screaming, wake up. Yeah. Let's get moving, guys.
I'm kind of glad we weren't in there at halftime, actually.
I mean, you think you might have turned it on us, too?
Yeah, but right now, whatever was said hasn't been working. And that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Again, Jackson will keep it.
And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
And they'll let the quarterback keep it here on 1st and 10.
Jackson hit, and he lost the football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And they will take over at the 29-yard line.
Problems there on the option and a costly turnover.
Yeah, partner, you know how we watch practice sometimes and we see those drills where the quarterback's running with the football and they're swinging pads at him and the brooms are out and they're trying to poke at the football for ball security. I have a feeling next week there'll be an extra session of that each and every day.
Well, the first play of the drive there is incomplete. Not his best throw there, but where we sit right now in the third quarter, he's had a pretty good game throwing the football.
He certainly has, and it's not exactly at the point where we're doing 4-minute offense yet, but they've got to think about, I'm not going to say milking the clock, but understanding clock management here on out.
Yeah, this one almost intercepted. Far too loose with the football. Nearly a fourth pick of the ball game. And this time he's got the hook up. It's complete. Touchdown! A great effort there. Already his second touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Steelers capitalize on this short field as they take it in for 6.
On that third down call, the goal was to get the ball to their tight end and pick up a first down, but he wasn't satisfied with just that. They got the first down. That was the gravy. He decided to take in the whole meal and rumbled in for a touchdown.
Extra point up and through, and the lead will swell by one more. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive, and it ends with a Pittsburgh touchdown. The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. Takes it at the 7. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. And Baltimore's offense set for this next possession. And they had the fumble last time that led to a touchdown. That's a no-no. We'll see what they do here this go-around.
A big no-no. Put that in capital letters. Turning it over, the other team takes it down and scores. That can be a deflator for a football team. Now it's up to the offense to get back out on the field and pick things up.
They're out there. We'll see if they can pick those things back up. Here's a run on first down that doesn't accomplish anything. In fact, he's going to be tackled behind the line for a loss of 1.
You got to figure the further they fall behind, the more you think that they'll get away from the run. They're trying to stick with it, but the results, they just aren't there.
On 2nd and 11 now. Jackson. That's complete to his receiver, Bateman.
Doesn't matter whether it's a zone coverage or man coverage, the drag route can be effective when it's run well.
On 3rd and 1, Jackson. And this is going to be incomplete.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
On 4th down, the punt team is on as this is sent away. Let's take it inside his own 40. That'll go as a punt of 34 yards that time. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Out comes the Steeler offense now, ready to see what they can do here. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they?
They've taken momentum and pretty much...
And caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Steelers. A big play there. 53 yards. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. Quite a show of arm strength right there. That was in the air for a long time, and it was on target, too.
And I'm telling you, nothing will let up a crowd more than a play like that. Here in the stadium, all eyes were on the receiver streaking downfield, and you know everyone was thinking, throw it, he's open. What a connection there for the touchdown.
Yeah, and that throw, my goodness, and even 70 yards through the air. Point after, right down the middle. And that will extend this big lead. Those are the kind of drives they like on offense, from the coordinator to the quarterback, the line, everybody. One play drive and into the end zone for 6. Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Takes it at the 7. And no chance to get away as they'll get him down at about the 17-yard line. Baltimore about ready to go on offense. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked so well.
And now here's another interception. Picked off around the 41. And this return is going to be halted right around the 28-yard line. The interception woes, they just continue to mount. He's thrown 5 picks. At this point, you got to be thinking, is it something between the ears?
I think a confidence hit does occur once you start getting those numbers up there a little bit. But as you and I both know, it's not always just one guy's fault. Maybe somebody ran the wrong pattern. Maybe some balls were tipped. It could be so many different things. Bottom line, though, it comes back to the guy throwing it.
Now a throw to the end zone on first down, but it winds up incomplete. 2nd and 10, third quarter of the season opener. Oh, I think a free play here for Keenum. And he takes it into the end zone across the chalk. Now there is a flag down, but I think that's offsides on the defense.
Yeah, I think that's going to stand, partner.
Yeah, that one was relatively easy to see. I noticed that from up here.
Yeah, it doesn't take a whole lot, does it? Sometimes you get multiples. What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
Toward the back corner of the end zone, but he could not get the feet down. This will wind up incomplete.
After what they've faced during this game where they've given up a ton of yards downfield, there has to be a measure of revenge right there for the secondary. They've been shredded throughout the game and finally forced an incompletion.
And down inside the 15, shy of the 10.
And if anyone thinks they're just going to tuck their horns in and pull back off the throttle a little bit, you can forget it. Even with this big third quarter lead, I think this team's going to continue to take their shots downfield. And there's another.
And he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5. Coming up now on a 2nd and 15 following that sack. Keenum. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Trying to decipher what's going on out there because I don't know if he's just getting bad reads. I don't know if the defense is confusing him. I don't know if he just has, bad info and intel before he snaps the ball. But he's made some pretty bad decisions with the football lately.
There's several bad decisions on the interceptions he's thrown, and frankly, that should have been another pick right there. Meanwhile, on 3rd down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete.
They certainly had good starting field position on that drive, but couldn't do anything with it after 3 plays. Have to admit that that's a disappointing end to excellent field position when that drive starts.
And he is going to go down here, but we also have a penalty scrimmage. They may have jumped the gun. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched.
Keep it moving.
Heard it once, failed once. What can they do here on 4th? Out of the pocket. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. This last drive, he'll look to throw. That's complete. Call that a gain of 5 as the clock ticks inside of 2 minutes to go now in the 3rd. Now a handoff for Dobbins. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line.
What I always love on these offsides is when each side points at the other. Hey, you did it. No, you did it. They deciphered that one correctly.
And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Looking at a 2nd and 11 now after the loss. Jackson with a handoff to Dobbins on the option. And here's another tackle made at the line. So they're converging well on the football now. Back-to-back stops make it 3rd and 10. Throwing is Jackson. Gets it to Gordon. And he's going to lose yardage here. Back to his own 18. It'll be a loss of 2 on the play. And it'll be 4th down. Back now in Pittsburgh. 1 quarter remains. Ravens here in this Thursday night matchup. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports. They're forced to punt on 4th as this one's away. Fielded just inside the 30.
With your throws, especially in this situation. You're inside the 10-yard line going into the end zone. But sometimes the emotion, the excitement, sometimes the decisions just aren't made very well because of that.
And it's caught. A touchdown saving tackle there. Now it's 3rd and goal. Not a big window to throw. Coverage wasn't too bad there.
Yeah, they had him under wraps pretty well, but somehow able to muscle his way open and catch the ball.
Keenum now on 3rd and they're going to get to him. A sack. Sack back at the 9-yard line. Odafe Owe coming in to drop him for a loss of 8, and it also brings up 4th. Here we go on 4th. Keenum. And a 4th down pass attempt, and the Ravens are going to get the football back. So they were really trying to put the nail in the coffin there already with this lead here in the 4th, but they didn't get it.
Guaranteed. And I know if we go to the post-game press conferences, the winning coach, you know what he's going to say, why he did it? We need the points, okay? Because you never know at the end of the year if points are going to come into the tiebreaker if we're trying to get into the playoffs. That's always the standard justification.
Now left side on the swing. Down at 8. Jackson from the shotgun. And up losing a dozen yards, a 12-yard loss, and it brings up 3rd. And for Jackson, this may be a free play. And this turns into disaster. He's not going to get forward progress. That'll be a safety. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. And he's going to go down again. Looks like a 9-yard loss, and it also brings up 4th. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. Taking a couple yards shy of midfield. A nice job getting free on the return for 13 yards. And this offense, they're going to have excellent field position. They take over with a 1st and 10 on the short side of the field. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And they'll run on the inside handoff. And he's got some space here. And he's going to take it in for a Steeler touchdown. Cole McDonald, already his 2nd touchdown here in this opening weekend. And the Steelers are closing in on a winning start to the year as they extend their 4th quarter lead. Extra point safely through, and the lead will swell by 1 more. I'm not sure if they drew that play up to score, but it scored indeed. 1 play on the ground and into the end zone for 6. Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. A short kick now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And he takes it back to the house. A fumble recovery for a Steelers score.
So that's got to be so disappointing for a defense. You force the fumble, think you got a chance at a turnover, and instead, not only do you give up the football, you also give up a touchdown as well.
Yeah, you just think to yourself, you've done all the hard work, right? You forced the fumble, but when they didn't come up with it, I think they relaxed a little bit or maybe lost their focus as well, and it ended up turning out to be a touchdown against them.
The point after is good, and that will extend this big lead. So not only the cough up, But then the pickup on the other side, the scoop, and the score the other way. The fumble return for a touchdown.
So here's the kickoff now as he'll get it again following that fumble return for a score. Fields this way up at the 17. And able to get this across the 20, but not much further as he's dropped it to 23-yard line.
And now Baltimore gets set to take the field.
And they knew coming in that this would be a tough place to go in and win a season opener. But this has just been a performance, to be frank, not to be proud of.
And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up second. Another try after the first down sack. And pressure coming, and they got him once again. T.J. Watt in there to get him yet again. That is his third sack tonight. They can't figure him out.
We've been around this league for a while, and many coaches never pull their starting quarterback, almost no matter the situation. In this case, though, I think he's got to make a decision. He's taking a pretty good beating out there.
Yeah, and with the deficit, maybe not wanting to risk an injury. Now a third down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete. Here's Sam Cook now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he'll take it just outside the 40. And he's in for 6 and a Steeler touchdown. Call that a 59-yard punt return. And the Steelers offense is running away with this one.
I think all teams probably like seeing that schedule for the first time, looking at week 1, oh good, we're at home. This is why you want to be home in week 1. They're looking sharp.
And I agree with you totally. That's what you want, but there carries a little extra pressure with that as well, because you and I both know protecting the home field, winning your home games is paramount in this league. So you go into it, yeah, we want it, but now you actually have to go out and prove it.
Yeah, two sides to that coin, and looking like they're going to protect it here in this one. So after the punt return touchdown, let's see what their opponents can do with this kickoff. Looking up into the lights, and he muffs it.
And able to get this out to the 25.
Now the Baltimore offense heading back out onto the field.
And no doubt this is not the way that they had hoped to open their season. Thoroughly outplayed here in front of the national audience.
Jackson and the Ravens come up now 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line.
Jackson's throw into the hands of Andrews.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line.
Well, this game is certainly pretty well over. They go ahead and mark it in the win column. But as a defense, they don't want to get so soft now that everybody just throws the ball all over the place against them, gets big yardage, and puts points on the board. They have pride, too, on that side of the ball.
That catch good for only a couple. One thing I think that's safe to say defensively, the tackling's been really good.
And because of that, it's been very, very hard for them to move the ball because you're not getting the benefits of run after catch. They're tackling them almost on the spot. That means after
pressure comes and the Steelers take him down. They push him back 8 yards that time on 2nd down. Now after that sack, it's 3rd and long for Jackson and the Ravens. Now it's Jackson. Under pressure again, and down he goes again. The defense rising to the challenge and setting him back on the sack. Here's Sam Cook now as he's on to punt for Baltimore. And we'll see what he can do on the return. A very good return there, giving it even 20 yards. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive.
It has been quite a display here in the opening game of the new season. And really, they're putting the rest of the NFL on notice. They are going to be title contenders as now they look to finish things off in the 4th quarter.
It's a loss of 5 there, bringing up 2nd. They'll fake the give. Now Keenum. Wide open receiver, complete. And in for the Steelers touchdown. A great play there. with now 3 Week 1 touchdowns. And the Steelers offense, they continue to pour it on. They seemingly just continue to score at will. And as great as it's been for the offense, you got to feel for that defense down there.
And I love how you use the word will, because both teams came into the game with the will to win. But one team has obviously imposed its will on the other.
Now for the point after. Now this one was over a while ago as they just add on to their big lead. The kickoff team on the field now as they will send this one away. A short kick taken at the 18. And not much happening on the return as he'll get this to about the 23. The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now. And if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down. J.J. Watt bringing the pressure yet again. That's his 3rd sack here tonight. Pass protection has been a problem all night long as they come up facing 2nd and a bundle. And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by Caleb Farley. Well, partner, I got to tell you, I'm trying to think of something positive to say for this offense, but I'd have to be a spin doctor for that one. This has been a tough performance to watch.
And I think it's hard at this point to actually identify what's really gone wrong. I guess the catch-all is everything. Doesn't sound like real sharp analysis, but I don't have much else for you.
And the scoreboard just locked. And he will get into the end zone. It's another touchdown. This thing is ugly.
Well, I tell you what, when you get a running back who can move something to take advantage of, and they certainly did there.
Extra point attempt here still to come. And oh my goodness, this is nowhere close. Well to the right and no good. So with the missed PAT in his rearview mirror, he goes back out to kick this one off.
Fields this way up.
Now a hit and a loose football. And it's picked up by the Steelers. And that might just cement it. A return for a late touchdown.
Well, this is long since over, and some might see this as overkill, but remember, this is a team that puts on the hard hats, grabs the lunch pail, and tells everyone, we're going to give you a full 60 minutes. And that's exactly how they're playing this one out.
The extra point up and good. And the lead will swell by one more. And you can bet they're preaching 2 hands on the ball here as the kick's away following that fumble return.
Fields this way up at the 17. And he won't quite make it to the 25.
The Raven offense set at the line for this next drive. This is just an exercise in futility. Do you even bother running a play here offensively?
I wouldn't, because...
And the Steeler pressure too much here. He's going down. It'll be a loss of 10. And it'll bring up 2nd. Well, my friend, for the players, it's good for them to get that first game under their belts. For you and I, that first Thursday night game, also good for us to get that under our belts, wasn't it?
It was no longer preseason. We were into the regular season, the first game of the year, And you know, all eyes were watching this one. Everyone was excited that football was back.
And it's just special. You could just feel it. It's so good to have the pigskin back out there. It'll be crisp fall weather before we know it.
You got that right, but I love the build-up to it, right? All day long anticipating it, and then we got here and we saw a game, the first game of the year. Let's keep going.
So for Pittsburgh, they begin the new campaign with a victory here in front of the home crowd in the Thursday opener. And now they'll have a few extra days here before they face Cincinnati next week. Meanwhile, for Baltimore, they go down to defeat